Hey, true believers, Chris Mack coming at you today with Batman issue 126. And I gotta admit that right now, I'm kind of having a love relationship with this run. But I feel kind of like with Spider-Man that Zdarsky needs to kind of, find his voice with Batman. He hit the ground running with Daredevil, but now that he's over at DC and it's kind of a different beast, I feel like he has to kind of reacclimate to a sense. So this is Failsafe Part 2. Chip Zdarsky, writer. Jorge Jimenez doing the art. Tomu Mori doing the colors. Clayton Cowles the letter. There's everyone else working on the book. And of course, Batman was created by Bill Finger with Bob Kane. And I absolutely love the way this book starts, where it says, "Every day, as the light retreats, my soldiers come out. The bravest young men and women I've ever known. Protecting our city, protecting other cities. An outcome that I could never have dreamed of when I started. Because I had no dreams. I couldn't afford to." Now, spoilers if you haven't read 125, so, go pick up the book and come back. For those of you that have and have not, spoilers abound. What happened last issue is Robin was helping Batman get people out of a gala that was about to be blown up by the Penguin. Robin got shot in the neck. Now he's back on the streets. And he's like, "Look, I know if you're worried, but the doctor says I'm fine. You're not ready. You should have assessed the situation at the gala, seen the gunman before turning your back. Are you serious? I was saving people. Wait, does my getting shot remind you of Jason? Of Alfred? Is that it? Look, I didn't start yesterday. You're mad about a different thing. And you're not in charge of me. I don't even wear a bat." And I think that's one of the things that really eats at me about this is Tim Drake's attitude. Tim has never been like that. Even in the face of Jean Paul Valley during Nightfall, when Jean just about killed Robin in the new armored Batman suit, he was not like that. So kind of seeing him as sort of this pissy individual, maybe he's just got shot. So I'm sure there's a little bit of that. But seeing them at each other's throat like that, it's just something new and something I, as a reader, have to get used to. But we find out the issue 125 that there's something that comes out of the ground called Failsafe. And I like how Bruce is talking about how, he couldn't marry Selena because he couldn't afford the distraction. He's saying that everyone else deserves love and happiness, and they don't understand that this life does not allow that. He says even Cobblepot's death has just created a void where lower-level thugs get the chance to rise up. More enemies. Unending. And while he's lost in thought, that's when the action starts. And the artwork, on point. I'm glad that Jorge Jimenez came back and did the artwork like he did for Tinian's run. It just, in the colors from Clayton, not from Clayton Cowles, Tomu Mori, I think. I get them mixed up, so forgive me for that. But Bruce has basically met his match. And he just cannot outrun him. He's trying his best. And I like how he says, "I gotta get away. I gotta reassess." And this robot calling himself Failsafe grabs his cape. And look at the fears in his eyes as he's slammed back down. "I can't. Don't end it. Let it end like this. By time." And he tries every trick in the book. And not even the Bat family can save him. And real quick, it is such a godsend to finally see Cassandra, I think that's Orphan's name, go from Orphan to being back to Batgirl, and seeing Oracle, Barbara back as Oracle. There's just something like, it was nice to see Babs back in the suit, but seeing her as Oracle, she earned that title, and she's a badass. So seeing, I know it's not Cassandra Cain. It might be, I could be wrong, but just seeing her back and teaming up with Spoiler is just a treat for me. But these two, Duke, none of them can stop this guy. So Tim comes in, saves him. And I love, of course, sorry I'm late to the party. The traffic from Bloodhaven was a killer. And that's what I always loved about Dick, is he was the OG partner to Bruce. And even through all the years together, growing up with him, he still kind of has this optimism that Bruce wishes he could have. And so even though they know that they can't beat this guy, here he comes, just kind of that chivalrous way, yeah, I think that's the word, that Dick Grayson is, jumps the Batmobile, tries to beat this guy, and then, of course, contacts Oracle. And just seeing Dick just standing here ready to take him on, it's awesome. But I like how he says, I think we're out of our league. And Duke's just kind of, you think? And it's just like, no matter what they do, this robot knows every single one of their moves. He goes, you can't stop me. Should not attempt to. Exceptional humans with sticks and knives. You are nothing. You hide in your caves, which I now have access to. So this book just boom, 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 boom. I mean, poor Leslie here is even having to face him saying, where's the bat? Which, again, when you're reading this, you think like it feels short, but it's because I enjoyed myself. The only thing that irritated me was Tim's attitude, and I'm sure that that's going to be playing out in later issues. And, you just get shot through the throat, and you probably looking death in the face. You got a little bit of a PTSD and some chronic depression going on, so I can get it. But what I like, and I'm not going to spoil the end, but as Bruce comes to the original cave under, I think it's Wayne Manor, he goes, the lengths I've gone to. I've softened, surrounded myself with children. But in my early days, God help me, in my early days I went too far. Failsafe is familiar, but familiar doesn't mean the same thing when you have a mind that remembers everything. It's an aberration, a fault line running clean across my memory. And this, I just love this close-up on his eyes, the shadows kind of foretelling what's about to happen. And then his dialogue changes. Come in. Only one man could have done this to me. A failsafe for a failsafe. He needs answers, so he falls aside, and I take over. And Tim is kind of left with this quizzical look on his face, like, what's happening? I'm not going to run that. I want you guys to pick this book up. And then, of course, we get the latter half of Selena chasing the Cobblepot kids, trying to figure out why the inheritors are dying. And the guy that she chokes out here, pay attention to him when you're reading this, because you run into some of Oswald's, children that weren't part of the executor's will. And they kind of come unhinged really quick. Addison and Aiden, yeah, that's their names. So I'm kind of interested to see, like, if Cobblepot, if the original Penguins did, and if we're going to start seeing family members take over. It's going to kind of be neat the way this is kind of swinging, and DC seeming to allow their characters to finally grow a little bit. And that's kind of where, again, I'm not used to Tim Drake's attitude of Bruce. But again, growing pains. Bruce talked about how he's getting older and how he took things too far when he was younger. The juxtaposition of Dick, Barbara, or spoiler, Batgirl, and of course, Tim Drake. And I'm glad, and I'm wondering if Zdarsky's kind of picking up where they kind of left Dick when they did Tim at the end of A Lonely Place of Living, when he was talking about leaving the Bat family to have a life with Stephanie. So we'll see. Interesting read, and I do kind of feel that to a degree that Zdarsky's starting to find his footing, and I'm enjoying it a whole hell of a lot. If you guys have enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop and pick up a copy. If you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you won't mind hitting that fancy little bat bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.